Good evening, friends and family. We've had some technical difficulties, but I want to welcome you to another night of our segment of our new podcast, Behind Black Business, hosted by Gregory Sane. As you know, our mission is to improve Black communities within the city of Chicago. And in order to do this, we are working to improve our Black businesses. So without any further commentary, because of the late time here, we're going to go straight into our interview, Behind Black Business. Tonight we have Out of the Past Records, a jewel on the west side of Chicago. They've been in business for over 50 years. Marie Henderson, the owner of this establishment, she has owned over 10 businesses in her time over on the west side. So now I'm going to bring to you Behind Black Business with Gregory Sane.
Hey, thank you for that introduction. It's always an honor and a pleasure. Hey, if you guys just joining us, hit the share button, share this podcast with your friends. This is RRGBC, Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities. Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities. Good evening. We are going to be joined by an extraordinary and amazing, awesome business owner who is behind the scene, and let's bring her forth, Miss Marie Henderson. How you doing, Miss Marie Henderson?
I'm doing fine.
It is such an honor. It is such a blessing, a pleasure. I mean, this kind of interview is so amazing to have with a person that's been in business for such a long time. So before I even get into asking you questions, how you doing? You all right?
I'm doing fine.
Man, this is an interesting business that's flinging, but go ahead and tell us how long you been in business?
Well, I say
how many shops do you have? How many?
I don't have the one shop now.
Okay.
But at one time with my husband, because I was in business, my husband was the mastermind behind all our businesses. He's not able to do anything now because he's ill. But we together have been in business for, we first started our business in 63.
What 63?
Well, this wasn't the only business we had. We started out as a photographer studio. And
wow.
We developed up into a hair salon, and then we went into the records. So we was in those businesses. So we've been in the record business since 1966, because we started out with our first record shop. And from there, we did at one time have 10 stores, but we lined them down to just this one now. And this one has been here since 1986.
Wow. What has changed since you've been in this business? What has changed?
Our neighborhoods since I've been in business. And the quality of music and the people who indulge in it. You see a variation of people, and the music itself is really, I would say, not changed, but it's just a different taste in music. And
how you dealing with those changes, though? How you dealing with the changes?
We deal with them because music is, you have to go along. You go along with so far, but I haven't changed anything, because I remember when we first started out with just records, and 45s and LPs. And I remember in 1966 we had the photographer studio at 8 South Pulaski. That's where the old Church's Chicken place used to be.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we used to laugh because people would come in and they would buy maybe 10 45s because they were cheap then, and about 5 LPs, and that was a weekend thing for most blacks in the area then, and everybody was into
wow.
their music. They were into their music. And then
let me tell you something. Music, I love music, and I am when it comes to music, let me just tell you, and I'll give you a secret. So my first record shop was in St. Louis. It wasn't mine, it was my father's. And up above was his recording studio. And the first 2 records that I got from Daddy, he gave them to me. It was You Got Me Going in Circles and Hot Fun in the Summertime. The Friends of Distinctions. And I forgot who made, I know they made You Got Me Going in Circles, but Hot Fun in the Summertime. But my father was recording upstairs. And it's amazing because Daddy, that's where I got the wax, music from. And my father is somebody you might know, Oliver Sane.
Oliver
Sane, Oliver Sane.
Oh, okay, soul music.
Yeah, Soul Serenade.
Right, Soul Serenade, yeah.
Yeah, Daddy had Soul Serenade and Bus Stop and some other cuts. And then he had Fontella Bass and Daddy had Shirley Brown with him. Shirley ended up making Woman to Woman. And, Fontella made Rescue Me. Come on, baby, and Rescue Me. And 65, actually, at Pst Records. And Maurice White and those people was playing the instruments. So I'm very touched by music, by having a father, Daddy and Ike and Lil Milton and all them cats was playing. So, blues, I know you love, being in this industry, you can't be biased, but I know you got a granddaughter that likes certain genres of music, but what's your favorite music in the business? You got to sell it all, but for you.
Okay, well, my favorite music is 60s music, like the old music, because when I came to Chicago in '59, I was from the South, and we didn't deal with this type of music. So when I came,
you said we didn't deal with this type of music.
All you heard was Patty Page, and you heard all the Caucasian singers like Patty Page and all the other old Dolly, whatever the little lady with not Dolly Parton, it's another lady. And it was all that old music where we didn't listen to Brenda Lee and stuff like that. So when I came to Chicago in '59, I went to a basically integrated school, but it wasn't really integrated. It had just begun to let a lot of blacks in. There was
1950
Harrison High School. Harrison High School was in existence then on Marshall Boulevard in California.
Yeah, they didn't change the name now, and it's all Latino.
Right. Well, that was my high school. That was my graduation school.
Salcedo or something now.
I was introduced with kids in the neighborhood because of us coming in, and I began to enjoy music. And I like the old music, like for Smokey and Marvin. I like all that old stuff like that. And then I like the Dells and stuff. That's why
I heard you and Denise. Before we came on the air.
Yeah.
And y'all was talking about Al Green. I was like, they didn't mention Bobby Womack, baby. That's my main man.
Bobby Womack. I remember.
The poet.
Well, see, when we first started selling records, our first record was Color Him Father by the Winstons. You remember that one?
Yeah, I love that one.
Okay, well, that's the first record we put in the shop. And we was just experimenting. And although we did buy a lot of more records, but that was one that would knocked us out, it put us out the pockets, because when we first bought it and we started playing it on the street, we had this little box you set outside the studio because my husband was still taking pictures. He had his studio, he put it in the back and he put the record shop in the front. And sold those records. I think we sold about 50 of those records in 1 week. If anything, maybe 100 of them in 1 week, because that record.
I love that record. I love that record. Color Me Father.
And so from there, we just developed into the record shop. And so we just expanded and we expanded, and then we come down, we downsize down to this one. And so people always ask me, where did you get all the records from? Well, I had so many because we had almost 10 shops. So we kept pounding them into the store I had at 8 South Pulaski. When we closed that one down, we brought that stuff down here. And then, of course, we get records in from donations. People give us records sometimes. And I would get records in because I love old music. And we just had that fling for the music. My husband always said when they came in with, the first thing they came in was cassette or 8-tracks. And he said, I'm not getting rid of my records. We're going to do our records in the 8-tracks. So, and he's one of those.
Do you convert them? Did y'all convert to all these other things, 8-tracks?
When we first started out, we had the 8-tracks, and the 8-tracks was the thing where, you could throw it in and do that little click. It was better than the CD, they say. And so we wasn't really converting in because we didn't know, about it. But then as the years went by, we did start converting. Then when the cassettes come in, they say, throw away the 8-tracks. My husband say, no, I'm packing them up. So believe you me when I say I got about how many thousand 8-tracks back then?
But you know what bothers me? Marie, is we don't have a say-so in how they decide to change when they change technology, and they leave so many people behind. I am so thankful that God bless you all to not crumble under those changes, because oftentimes our people are not ready. And then folks, they was like, no, we don't do that anymore. I was listening to someone say you can Shazam this and Shazam that, but there's nothing like coming into a business like yours where it is authentic. What do you work with other businesses? What kind of relationship do you have with other Black businesses?
There's not a lot of Black. When they were in, we used to communicate. Like if I didn't have something over here, I would call them and send somebody over there. Now the only place now that I communicate is Pst Records. They still have the little record shop down there in Madison Street, and the guy there, we will communicate because I know he do a lot of the up-to-date raps. If the artists come in and say, well, y'all don't have the new stuff, I say, well, go down to Max, he got it. Come back to me when you want to listen something older. So that's what we do.
Barney Records. You remember Barney Records?
Barney's was where we used to get all our music from.
Yeah, Barney Records, man.
We used to get everything from them. And then when they were on Roosevelt Road, and then they went over to Ogden. So we've been in, we communicated with a lot of artists, a lot of different stores, that we communicate with. And in essence now, I still send people to other stores because a lot of times I may not have it. We'll call up and see if they got it. If they got it, they can go get it. Because for instance, the business is not as lubricant as it used to be, but everybody can make something, and everybody can share something. So I don't mind.
Marie, you must have a good relationship with the people in the community, right?
Well, I've been here so long, they call me Mother Marie.
See, I figured.
All the young folks grew up with my kids, my children since they're grown. They come in, nice. They always come in and see if I'm still here. I still live in the neighborhood. I'm right there on Monroe in the 4300 block. I've been there since 1963. So
wow.
So we're here, we're neighborhood, right? And the record.
How many employees? Do you have employees or you just?
Since my husband is sick, my granddaughter volunteers in here. And then I have a young man I call my son that I really,
Where that granddaughter at? She got to take this to the next level. Yeah. Tell her where's she at?
Where you at?
Tell that granddaughter, where's she at? I need to see her.
We still have walls of cassettes.
Hey, granddaughter, you got to take this to the next level. I'm going to tell you why. Because unfortunately, we don't have that transitional plan, or we don't do that enough where young people take on the great business that your people built, and we just let it go. I'm so glad that they have introduced it to you, and I'm sure you know the new technology, right? Mm-hmm. That's why you got your grandmama looking all good on live on air. We need you. Look, I appreciate you. And what kind of music do you like?
I like blues. I like R&B and soul.
You like what?
Blues.
What blues? You mean like that's some candy? You mean
tell them what you like?
Blues music or blue candy?
You heard it. My guy. She likes my guy.
Bobby Taylor, Tyrone Davis.
Oh, poor Doris. I hope Doris them listen to this. Tell me some. She like Tyrone Davis. Now, actually, Tyrone Davis was at my dad's funeral. Tyrone came.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tyrone, Dad and Tyrone, all them cats, Johnny and them, they were all good friends. You know,
Oh
people.
yeah. He used to come in
Oh.
here. I had the opportunity to meet some of the blues artists, and I call him my all-time favorite is Bobby Rush because he was my guy. He used to hang in here all the time.
Yeah. So did you bring a lot of musicians there? Like, did they come to some of your places?
You know, I didn't get a chance to introduce Bobby Bland never came in, Little Milton, but Tyrone Davis would come in, and Bobby Rush, Willie Clayton, a lot of different, you know, some of them they would come in because they knew I was here and they would introduce themselves, and I got a chance to meet them. You know, just like they would come in, a lot of the old guys that wasn't around, that, you know, because I had the opportunity, I was invited B.B. King, but he never had a chance to get here.
Yeah,
So,
BB is a good guy.
Yeah.
In 5 years, I mean, are you planning, you know, where you go from here, like next year, 5 years from now? Do you have any plans for the business?
The business, I think I'm leaving it up to the children, because now I'm so in deep, you know, because like I say, I have this sickness in the family, and I don't know what's going to happen between now and 5 years. So I'm kind of molding them into learning how to do this business. Besides Anissa, I have a young man named Monty Gray that be in here. That they two are the backbones of handling this business, because he's real influent in music too, and he know a lot of the older stuff and the blues and stuff. But since I've been and you know, not able to come down and be like I was all the time, I'm leaving it up to her. I already told her, I want her, if anything, I want her to always remember that this business is a family business, and for them to keep it flourish. Because I do have other children, but you know, they expanded off onto their own thing of getting their own business and things. My daughter has her own business, and my son, he's working out, and then and the other one, he working out because they like into their computers and other different things. But I would hope that they would keep it going, you know.
Yeah, I would hope that we would go back.
Music is just keeping it going, you know. If they ever decide they want to stop and just expand, that's up to them, you know.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you know, it's one of those things that makes me feel a certain kind of way. And I know everything must change. I just hope that we're able to change with it without losing the authenticity, you know, the organic industry of music. Going in and buying albums and 45s was so beautiful. And then, you know, and Doris and Denise and Simon, you know, we real sensitive to all of this stuff that happens without our people being prepared for it, right? Because we grew up when you can go and listen to an artist, and an artist was waiting to hear their records to be played. And we allow these people, Marie, can you imagine? We allow these folks to play what they want to play for us on the radio, on the whatever. And it's criminal how it happens, because back in the day, the DJ, you know, whether it's the brothers of WVON, whoever, Wesley South, they play somebody's record, they just got it, and everybody run and go and get it, and they listening, and everybody we allow them to move our people out of business with this technology. And I mean, some people making money from it, a lot of people had to go out. But Marie, what your husband, and I know that's a deep thing to take care of him. What's your hours? Do people come into your shop, and how does that work?
Our hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 to 5.
11 to 5?
Yes. On Saturday, we tend to stay open to like 11 to 6, but usually it's 11 to 5, Monday through Friday.
I hope y'all got pit bulls and security and chains and everything. Man, that's a shame that we have to secure our business, but 11 to 5, how do you all deal with that in terms of security?
We don't have that problem. Most of the people in the community know my grandparents, so we don't have that problem. She's been here for a long time, so we never have a problem with anybody coming in, being disruptive or trying to tear the store up, even with the riots.
What's your vision? What's your vision for the?
My vision is to keep it open and keep it family oriented. My grandparents worked hard, and I plan to keep that vision that they have. Keep it strictly old school.
Oh, I love you.
Not giving up anything. We're not getting rid of the vinyl.
Oh, what a blessing. What a blessing. That don't happen too often. And I'm telling you, you have gold. You have gold, and I'm so glad you know history, and this. I'm so glad you value, yes, what your parents, grandparents have built. That's such a blessing. And and let me ask you, is it profitable? Are you guys making money from it?
Well, you can say we're making enough to survive because it's not like back when. But I was on. I had set up the what you call it, the internet. But I'm not on internet right now because it takes a lot of time and effort to do that, and I would love to get back on. But right now we're surviving, through the neighborhood.
We're gonna help you. We're gonna help you. That's what this organization is about. We here to repair, restore, and grow.
I would like to say this. I would like to say this
in our community. That's why, because when you say you're not on the internet, you don't have time, and what we want to do, and Denise is working with a group of individuals that is, will help the marketing part. Your daughter understands technology, because I think a bunch of people would look at this as a museum.
They call it. That's what they call it. They call it that.
See,
they do. They call it.
I'm thinking already that you got a museum. You got something that, see, we cannot erase this history. And even if you're not selling records per se, you are selling history. When people come in, and your granddaughter, people come and take a tour and blah, blah, blah. And then if they wanted to buy something, they could. But I think people just like to come in and look at the records all lined up. Am I right or wrong?
Well, they like to come in because people say, I have had customers come in and say, when are y'all going to straighten it up? But people from Europe, they come over from Europe with records and stuff. You know what they say? Marie, if you change it, I'm going to be mad. Because they like to come in and scrounge. I say they did. they know what they're record lovers. So they come in and sit over there. We cut the light on and they sit over there.
I'll be there all night. Listen, I would be there all night.
Well, I'm going to give you your joke the time. One day when I was in here, I had another girl here with me, was helping me out. And we was just talking. We had forgot that we had let the guys in. They were over in the corner. So one of them went left. So not thinking, we locked the doors. So we were getting ready to get in the car to go home. We heard somebody say, tap, tap, tap. Are y'all going to leave me in here?
Man, they had made themselves at home. Do you know folks get into a trance where it's emotional for me to come in there? It would be hard for me to leave. It would be hard for me. You wouldn't even hear from me. I would just be pulling out albums and looking on the back, because you learn so much of who wrote the records, who produced it. All of that information is on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've had the and my husband, this was what he always said. He said, no matter what goes on, I don't care what comes in modern, I'm gonna keep it straight. So when they was changing over from the LPs and the 45s to CDs, and a lot of the customers saying, well, you aren't gonna put the CDs in. Y'all need to get rid of your records. My husband told him, listen, this is only a phase. He said, everything come in phases. He said, don't touch my records. And so he never gave up the records. And I really appreciate him for that, because he told me, Marie, do not pack your records and give them away. So we left the records like that, but we added the CDs, we added the cassettes, we added the 8-track. So we have all this stuff. So when people come in to buy it, they ask me, even classical music, I got gobs of classical music. I have the rock music, because music itself is going to always see somebody's going to come in that's going to want something different from what you have. So you have to be.
Marie, you still buying it? You still get music in?
And you know what? I haven't gotten any in lately, because I got 9 rooms of records here, and I can't even get in some of the rooms. I got them packed. So
you got that many?
We have 9 rooms.
Hold on, we got to put their address. Can we put the address?
Can't go in the basement, because
no, we ain't going. Don't look in the basement. We ain't looking in the basement.
I had the back room with records, and I had the next back room with records and stuff.
What's the address?
Side room with records. I have another room with records.
4407 West Madison Street.
4407 West Madison. So that's like Independence.
Costner, Madison. And
Boston.
That's
Okay.
if you're coming from if you're coming west, you're 4 blocks. We're 4 blocks from Pulaski. If you're going east, we're 4 blocks from Cicero. So we're locked in. We're locked in this little area. We at Costner and Madison, and that's how you.
I know exactly where it is.
Yeah. So that's where we are. And
what other business are around you, near you? Any other Black business anywhere near you?
we have the young ladies next door have a hair salon that they do hair.
Max Records.
Max Records is 50 for 5600 West. No, they about not quite 56. They're like 5400 on Madison, and then we have who else do we have around here?
Another restaurant, a black-owned restaurant.
A black-owned restaurant down the street. We have Taste Bud, and then we have the MacArthur's, and we have the jerk chicken place right down the street here. So
do you guys ever, like a Black Chamber of Commerce, do they ever bring you all together kind of just to talk about how we maintain and protect these businesses?
In this area, we used to have a Chamber of Commerce meeting when Pulaski was really kind of blooming. You know, the stores was there, but since it had changed over from Korean to Arab, none of them would really attend the meeting. So it was just like the Black area.
Stop it!
Since then, we haven't had anything because it's
gonna have doors. You're gonna have doors come through the screen. You're gonna come through the screen, and Denise. I mean, that's horrible.
But we don't have anything around here.
That's crazy.
We don't. And then, the saddest part about it is that we have seniors. We have about whole senior housing in this area, and they have to go outside the area because there's nothing here for them.
Wow, that's sad. But we really want to.
Look,
anybody viewing this, go by this record store because I can't wait to come by. You all gonna see me there soon.
Okay.
I'll be there to buy some stuff, and I want to just look and just enjoy that whole history. I mean, you know, I get chills because it's so important that we don't lose this record shop, and I'm so thankful for your granddaughter. We got to do RGBC. We are going to do everything that we can to help you all out because I see where we can help. And that's what this is about. This show is to highlight what you're doing, to talk about some of the challenges that our people have in businesses, and also to lend information to folks who are out there who might be interested in doing something like this and understand that how do we deal with the trends? Because that's the thing that really hurts our community is that we're not prepared for change. And some of the change doesn't think about us, don't care about us, and really want to see us out of the way because they got other plans. And I'm so glad that you all stood your ground and you have when I say you have a diamond, gold, you got treasure right there. And we just have to find a way on how we can keep that history to be a lesson, to be a place where young people can come and see how it started. Because many of them don't even know nothing about an album.
No, that's true. But we have to teach them. And the best way to do is if you got children, most people don't even have albums in their home. So that's why the kids don't know anything about it.
Do young people come in there? Young people, do they come in?
I got a lot of young folks that love to come in here and get music.
Really? And what do they do? What they get? What music they get?
They get R&B and soul. They get blues. Now
what young people get blues, girl? What young people?
They're starting to bring record players back. A lot of people are starting to buy vinyl again.
Wow.
So a lot of younger people that come in, they like to sample. So they come in and buy R&B and soul, blues.
Why don't you because when you do your thing on, the social networks that you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do a show and they see those albums behind you and you talk about, etc., that's going to draw a lot of young people and elderly people,
Mm-hmm.
in. Do you ever do that?
We actually do have social media sites for Out of the Past Records. Sometimes
Okay.
I post albums or I play music, but we do have social media
Oh,
sites.
you play music? You play
Yeah.
some of the music?
Also, we have our own radio station online on our website. You can go and listen to different genres of music on our
Can
website.
you give me that? What is it?
Out of the Past
.com.
Records.com.
Outofthepastrecords.com.
Mm-hmm.
And we could go on there and listen. Can we make requests?
No, we just loaded a lot of different music for people to listen to, and they come in and ask us about the song.
Well, you know what? I love that concept. Now that's the one that we're gonna get rich off. You know why? My mother and folks, I'm telling you, Marie, they love it. So at midnight, if Out of the Past came on at midnight and they played all these songs and records and genres of music, you know, from the past, a lot of people would turn it on. They'd turn it on and go to bed off that music.
We have been very fortunate to have that done, and we're getting ready to upgrade it because I think we have to redo the blues on there, and we got the dusters on there and the R&B, and I think we're redoing the blues and that because people that work at work, a lot of them work. We have stepping music on there and stuff, so a lot of them at work would say, "Oh, what happened to your radio station? Because we used to love it. Stick your earplugs in while you're working, you get that music, you know."
You know my two favorite records. I don't know why they're my favorites, but One Less Egg to Fry, whatever.
Fifth Dimensions, huh?
Fifth Dimensions.
Yeah.
And then I like, and then Garland Green, Jealous Kind of Fella.
Oh yeah.
Now, believe it or not, those are two of my favorite records. I would play them, even though I did like that record. You know, You Got Me Going in Circles.
The record I really love is The Gifts, Loving You. That's one of my favorites. And the one I really love, the guy always teased me about it, is Where Were You When I Needed You? About it. It's the main ingredient. I love that song because it has a meaning. It's telling a story. And if you ever heard it, you would love it. I mean, people, because it's telling a story. And I'm
so proud. Listen, I'm so proud that Denise found you. I don't know how. You know, Denise is running into all of these great people out here with business, but this is very serious. And what we plan to do, RRGBC, is we want to help you repair and restore, and we want to help you grow, you know, because you're a part of our community. And that's what this movement is all about. I mean, it's really to give you an audience and people to know that you are still here. And then to talk about some of the challenges, to talk about some of the things that really cripple our community. And it's a shame of what you said earlier. And that's why I said Doris should be ready to snatch some of these people out of our community and throw them away. And you go someplace else because they are not supportive of what we're doing in our community. And if it was up to them, they'd like you to just move away. You know what I mean? Get out of the way because they can't relate to it.
That's true. A lot of them are not really into it now. Most people are into modern technologies, and it's kind of hard because even though, you know, with our kids growing up, most kids today don't even know how to go outside and play because they're so deep into modern technologies. They sit on a computer, a phone in their hands, and they listen to, I guess they into music too, but it's just so different from when you was growing up and when she was.
They into sound. They not into music.
Yeah, that's just
They don't know real music. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But they into sound.
Yeah.
If they into music, then they would be listening to music. And I'm being very prejudiced when it comes to this, but music is music. And some of this other garbage that they have out here, and most of them, they sample anyway the good music, and you hear it being played in some of the rap songs and some of the other songs, and young people don't even know where that really came from.
You know, a long time ago, we when Barney's was in business, they used to do a lot of interviews with artists over there.
Right.
And one day they told the group the main ingredients was over there, and they told them, they say, "I know a record shop got all y'all records." They say, "No, man, I don't believe it." So they took a limousine and brought them over here.
Wow.
And they stood with their mouth open because they went to that table and they say they hadn't seen some of them records in a long time.
That's nice.
Picture here where I think they autographed that picture. I put it up and they autographed me a picture and they had just made a new album. And they say, Miss, and they were shocked that we had, that we had the records that we had because, people went into the music then, So I got to, like I say, we got a chance to meet a lot of good people when it
Tell
comes.
me some of the people you've met.
Oh,
just name 10.
I look, I can't even remember 10. It's been so long. But like I say, we know Tyrone, we know Bobby Rush, we know Willie Clayton, we know Cicero Blake, we know Glenn Jones came in.
I love Glenn Jones.
Yeah, and we had who else come in? Who else did we have come in? Quite a few people come in. I think one of the girls from the Love Life, Patty, she came in.
Oh, I love the Love Life.
I got a chance to meet one of the groups from the Notations. And we had a group here that made a record right here in the 4300 block on Monroe Street. I was trying to think of their name when they come in. But one of them came in because like a lot of people, the groups, they had died off or the artists weren't out here, but some of the singers would come in. The Stillers used to stay in here all the time. We knew him. He was one of my guys, So, and then, another thing about it was when Richard McGee and Herb Kent was on the air, they played the music you love to hear.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. Those was my two favorites.
I love his voice, man. Richard McGee's voice.
Then you had
he had no equal. He had no equal at all.
No equal.
I love Herb. Herb was but Richard, man, he was something else, boy. He was God.
So he used to do all night shows here, on weekends. Some weekends we would close up at 5:30 and he would come in about 7 and set up. And from there till 1 o'clock in the morning, we'd be in here listening to music and talking on over the air stuff. But expand, the blues artist, he's elderly now, he's sick. He used to come in all the time. We introduce him because the thing about it is, if you don't know the people and you don't get a chance to meet them, and you just be surprised at what you lose.
Right.
We lost out on a lot of stuff because a lot of artists are gone now. You're never gonna get them back, and there's nobody out there that can top them. I don't care who comes. We got some great singers out there, but not like those old artists. The old ones.
No, forget about it.
Yeah, the old ones.
Well, you know why? The problem is. And you could fault us, but then you could fault the educational system and how that stuff is working. They don't want the real deal. There's no band hardly where these students. I mean, I attended DuSable High School, and we had Walter Diet. People were learning how to play music. Folks was getting voice training, and all of these different activities and extracurriculum things were there. No one is developing our babies right now, so they don't have art appreciation. They don't understand music appreciation. They don't even know our history. So that's our problem. That's something that we have to change because our children don't know this stuff, and they don't know it. They want them. Technology is fine, but technology has done nothing but ruin our community because. The only problem because it's a disconnect. It's a huge disconnect.
It made them lazy. It made the kids lazy because they don't look forward to nothing.
So
they don't have.
Your granddaughter is ready, but before we let you go, we got a few more minutes. We got on late because we had some technical difficulties. But what is it that you would want people out here listening to know? A few people said thank you. I'm definitely going to Sandra Hill. I know Sandra. She said, I'm definitely going to go out to the past and will take my grandgirls so that they can see how to use and to purchase this music. Thank you, Sandra, because it's important. Anybody that's listening, please go by and check it out. What's that address again, Marie?
It's 4407 West Madison Street. We have a big green sign across the
4407 West Madison.
Right, out of the past records. Yeah.
Out of the past.
Yeah.
Into the future. Out of the past, into the future, right?
Yeah, and I'm glad you were saying that because people, you know, with young kids, and they want to get them to realize what they're doing because we have had young folks come in and they ask us when the artists, the rappers, or you know, they're doing their thing, they'll say, "Give me that song by so and so," and we'll say, "Oh, you know who made that song?" No, they didn't. They didn't make that song because all they know is that a young artist took it and he dipped into it, and they feel that he the one made it, but they never know old artists has made these songs. So I'm glad you're saying it. Like you said, lady bringing her children. A lot of us should bring our kids and wander in here and let them see what music was, because the music that they're getting now, it might be what they like, but let them see where the music came from, the experience of having all it. They get a chance to look and see the records. They get a chance to see old record players sitting around, and they can realize, you know, they know some kids don't even know what a cassette is. Did you ask the kids? You know, we don't know what a cassette is. They've never been introduced to that stuff. So it's good that if they want to bring their children in so they can get an experience, it's like a history. You come in. Now, some of the my customers that are Caucasians, they bring their kids in, and those kids scrounge for records. You think that, oh, I didn't know they know that. They be in here looking for music. They bring them in to look for the music. But we don't bring our kids in to do that. So if we lost out on it, it's because you haven't introduced them to it.
Look, you see where the blues people are, right up north.
And I'm gonna tell you, we have a lot
right
of
on the north side.
we have a couple of young kids. Their parents brought them in just for them to go over there and get a Howlin' Wolf album, and you'd be shocked. They're going and get a Howlin' Wolf, a Muddy Waters, stuff like that.
What?
Our kids don't know anything about that. They don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I love it. You know, it's very touching to me because all of those artists, you know, Willie Clayton and Muddy and all of them, Daddy, they all hung around each other, Daddy, and for years. Actually, Lil Milton, his wife, and my mom and dad, they had a twin marriage in Greenville, Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Greenville, Milton. So Milton and Daddy was like buddies.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, they were best friends. They were best friends when Milton came to do a tribute when my dad was sick, and went to St. Louis. Him and Ike Turner and Chuck Berry, a lot of different artists, Fontella Bass, and all of them. They went to do tribute. You know, so that's why I love music, and I've been around it. But I love the fact that you have a relationship with your granddaughter, have a relationship with you, because you know that's a big deal for me and Dora and Denise. Simon, we believe in that connectivity when it comes to the elderly and the youth, and you get a lot of credit from God by introducing your granddaughter to something so powerful. And that young lady right there is amazing. I'm so proud of her. I couldn't say enough. And I know she's going to do good by you, and you're going to be very proud of her. She got a plan. We just want to know what we need to do, how we can help in terms of if we have to help you all turn this into a museum, because I think it'll be a great place to be a museum and build right what you got, because folks they fascinated when they come in there. You say you get how many rooms full of records?
I have about what we say is
It's a lot. It used to be a car dealership, so
damn, is that many records in there?
yes, it's huge. We have a lot of rooms full of records.
So how many records you all think you have in there all together? Just take a wild guess.
a billion,
Millions.
millions.
No, that many. I ain't coming over there because I'll never leave.
Seal. We have boxes.
We got
of
records, still sealed records.
Do y'all have air mattresses there? Like an air mattress?
Look, I'm gonna tell you, like I used to tell the guys when I first opened up in the 80s, I used to get a lot of buyers from overseas. So they would say, Marie, they didn't know me that well, but they said, can I come and stay? I'll lock them in and go home. They would call me, and they would come back out. And we used to always laugh because we used to always, and we had several of them. And due to this epidemic now, they're not coming, because I do have several guys used to come. Every year they would come around this time of the month, and they would stay for a week because looking for records at different areas, but they would always make this their first stop, you know, and look around and see what they
y'all got millions of records in there.
I got so many records.
And are they real secure in terms of like for damages and water and different things like
see, that's
that?
the thing about my basement. It flooded and it messed up. I had 2 floods that messed up. I probably lost about 10,000, maybe $30,000-$40,000 worth of records down there. So I still have a spot that I'm trying to work with now. I don't know why it's leaking, so I'm having a plumber come out and look at it so I can get it secure back to like it was.
Oh, please do.
Stuff down in the basement. But it's a lot of it's a lot of records. It's a lot of records. And,
Denise and Doris, y'all want to come on up? Y'all come on up because they old school. Bring those old school ladies up in here. Let's hit them old school. They probably they know all about this music. They from the South too. They Southern. Look at them. What's up?
Hi, Miss Marie.
Oh no. Wait a minute. I'm not from the South. I'm from the West Side.
West Side is the
I'm
best
from the West
side.
Side. That's
West
right.
Side is the
That's what I know
best
about out of the past.
oh yeah.
I grew up in Garfield Park.
Well,
What?
I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, so I know about Greenville. Greg, you know about the fork in the road?
The fork in the road.
I'm from Jackson, Mississippi too. Yeah, I
Okay.
was born in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
Hey, look, y'all need to say, now let's see if y'all some kin.
Well, Miss
Right.
Marie,
It might be. Who knows?
Miss Marie, I have about 10 records from the past that I love. So I'm going to make a list of them and bring them over there to you for you to make me some CDs.
Just make your list.
What records you got, Doris? What records you got?
You know what? Now, this one is by a quartet. You remember 16 Candles, Miss Marie?
I like that.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. So that's gonna be on the list, and I like Sam Cooke and what's oh Lord, I'm trying to James Brown. Try Me. Remember Try Me?
Oh, yeah, we love Try Me.
So that's another one that's gonna be on my list, because I drive a lot, so I can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got something you're going to drive by. Good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So just come on over and we'll make it for you.
Well, it's a pleasure meeting you, and we're going to do whatever we can to help get you out there, and you can help us get out there. That's what we're all about, repairing, restoring, and growing Black communities, because we're trying to bring back the Black community.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate it. We need it.
Plus, y'all homegirls from Jackson, Mississippi. Y'all probably kin some kind of way. Y'all start naming them names.
Ain't no shame.
Don't knock it. All us can some kind of way.
Right, Miss Marie. We all are. Yeah.
Now, what about Denise? What record you got, Denise? She probably got
Oh wow.
Ice Cube.
Well, I like that you got me. I got that you like me going in circles. See, I like those songs, those love songs, those basement party songs.
Oh yeah, that's what you main ingredients then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the Dells and the Temptations.
Yes,
I mean, all of those songs.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love them, and I am so appreciative of you coming on, and I was just listening to you, and you're doing all of the things that we need to be doing. You're working with your family. You've passed this on to your granddaughter, Anissa, and I've been working with her, and she's been so pleasant and so professional and so positive, and it's just been wonderful working with her, and you knowing that you have passed this legacy on to her. And this is what we need to be doing. And also listening to you talk about how you worked with other businesses, how you all networked with each other. That's another one of the reasons we're having this podcast, is because we want our businesses to work with each other, to support each other. You send someone over to another store, you can get it over there. This is what we should be doing. And we're not doing this in our community at all. When you look at other ethnicities, they have the residents of the communities, they have the politicians, they have the religious groups, they have their own banking industries, and they're all working together to support that community and help that community to grow. And we're all over the place. We're not supporting each other like we should. And this is what we want. We want us to care and to come together and support each other. And that's why we're having this podcast. That's why we put this organization together. We got tired of talking And we're just a few people working really hard, trying to do something positive to bring our communities back together. And you are just a jewel, and you are a representation of what it takes to make that happen. You weren't able to stay there for 50 plus years doing something other than what you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So I am so appreciative of you. And I'm going to let Doris end this, but I do want to mention our bookstores. We do make a special effort to support our Black bookstores. We once had over 23 bookstores in Chicago, and now we only have several left. And it's very important that we read. We read to develop our own understanding of things, as opposed to depending on the media to tell us what to do. And the bookstore that we're featuring for this month is the Underground Bookstore on East 87th Street. They have provided us with a list of must reads. And at the end of this month, we have a book giveaway. Every month we're giving a book away. Last month we gave away The Philosophies of Marcus Garvey. This month it will be Black Labor, White Wealth by Claude Anderson. And all you have to do to be eligible to win this book is to subscribe to our email. There's no cost. We're just asking you to subscribe to our email, and you will become eligible to win that book. So I wanted to say that, and then I'm going to let Doris close this out. But thank you again, Miss Marie. I love you, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you,
Miss Marie, thank you so much for coming. And for those of you who have watched our show tonight, we want you to tune in every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. We have some fantastic people coming up. Go to our website, rrgbc.org, and take a look at some of the things in our store and contribute, because we are financing this ourselves. So we will definitely appreciate it. Again, rrgbc.org. Go to the website. We have wonderful articles that we have written that's on the website that's pertaining to what's going on with us as Black people every day. So again, thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week, 8 o'clock, same time.
Same time. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Are you?
Thank you.